Hey guys, this is part 3 to What If Superman Was in the Boys universe or was in the Boys part 3, guys. Now, you guys been asking, this my top what ifs I've been requested to do is the Invincible what if of Superman in the Superman Boys what if. Like, you guys you seem to love Superman. I might do a story of what if Batman was in the Invincible universe, but it'll probably just be over real fast because, let's be real, Batman had the materials he needed to take down Vulture. He would literally pull out that scourge virus and everybody would be out for the count, including Mark. But basically, last time I left off is where Popclaw killed a dude, and basically that whole scene with Huey or Butcher and all of them framing her, or not framing her, but blackmailing her and giving them more information about Compound V and its properties and how it works. Now, last time we left off, Clark did feel kind of guilty that he didn't save the man, but yet again, things did happen, and he didn't really know what to do. He froze up. Now, we just switched to Butcher talking to one of these, well, pretty much, detectives there asking her about Compound V and everything that's going on. As we could switch to Popclaw being called from, Frenchie, basically her giving them some information about the dealers of Compound V. As they track one of the dealers in a grocery store, as in the back of the store, it's bricks of cocaine and a bunch of other stuff, as eventually they would have found their way and got through there, Clark also being there as well, as they would have found their way into a back room with a cage with, well, the woman in there, or Kirigo, basically a Compound V pumped up human. Now we can switch back to some hotels or room areas as we talk about the Deep, as Deep would have told pretty much him everything, or basically talk to his therapist, blah blah blah. Things would happen exactly the same. The story going similar of all of the same, as eventually they would have talked about Carrie Go, as Clark would eventually convince them that they should let her out. As we can switch back to Vought Tower, as we see the two pretty much, I guess, popularity or public guys talking about, popularity scales, all the other stuff. As we get switched to the 7 home scene with pretty much Homelander talking to Maeve, but also pretty much, well, the head of Vought at the time, not the very head, but the head of Vought Tower, as they would have been talking, as eventually they would have been talking about, the death of Translucent and how they would probably have to replace him at some point with a new suit, as they would have to find a replacement somewhat fast enough. As we get switched back to the warehouse, as they would have pretty much let or tried to talk to Kirigo. As we get switched left and right everywhere around the city, as eventually we see that the city has been a little bit of a weirder area. It's been basically cleared out, investigation everywhere, and stuff like that. As we see how Deep talks to Stinwell about the Dolphins and stuff, and she don't care. So the Deep is given like kind of I guess a task, a meaningless task. As we switch back to A-Train, as he gets a little tip off of what's going on about a VOT facility, Compound V facility or drug deal going south, as we get told that, A-Train gets there as he talks to Popclaw, as he asks her, like, did you tell anybody about it? Like the VOT, or I mean not the VOT, but like Compound V. Now we see A-Train talks to Popclaw as he tells her that he loves her about the race and how he had to say those things. It's his brand. He's supposed to be a playboy, I guess. As we see that he talks to her, and let's just say he talks to her as he eventually figures out somehow that she did tell somebody, or he thinks she really did tell somebody, because like she's the only person that knew. As A-Train has to make a difficult decision of some sorts. As he has to make a difficult choice, as he tells her that we need to get you somewhere safe before Homelander finds out that you spilled the beans about pretty much, well, Compound V and all this other stuff. So we need to get you somewhere safe. Now, deep down inside, A-Train knows there's no real place he could take her that well, Homelander wouldn't find her unless he put her in Antarctica or somewhere deep into underground, somewhere no one would even find her, like a secret facility or something like that. Now, we could switch later on as we see that Huey and Starlight go bowling as your whole story goes on. Now, the whole plane situation would have happened very differently in the story, changing a lot in the course of the story. As you could switch to the plane one, the plane story or plane pretty much scene when we see that, well, Homelander and Queen Maeve try to stop a plane that's been hijacked. Now in the news, Clark sees this from afar as Clark is sent back home from the others. As Clark goes back home, pretty much doing his whole VOT interview thing as he hears about it. As Clark thinks clear and hard about it, as he runs off, putting on a jacket and a hoodie, and pretty much flying off into pretty much the sky, following the plane and following Homelander and Queen Maeve in there. As he sneaks into the plane behind Queen Maeve and Homelander, as he basically takes out some of the guards on the backside, as pretty much Homelander figures out that something went very wrong. As he looks and he sees that something is different. As he sees that multiple of the guards were taken out that he didn't touch, or Queen or Maeve didn't even touch. So he was kind of confused with what happened. Now he would have destroyed everybody, still, ignoring that, assured everybody that they were going to be okay, as he would have gone into the front area, as he would have, lasered them, as he would have messed up the control system. As it would have started to go down, as they would have started to go down, as everything would have started to go very south, as out of nowhere, the plane would have been pushed up. As Homelander looks down, using his X-ray vision, and seeing a man in a black hoodie flying up the aircraft and landing it perfectly safely. As Homelander flies back down there, looking at the man, saying, "Who the hell are you?" As he would have looked at him, as he would have shot a laser beam at Homelander. As Homelander would have fell down to the ground, as he would have fell down into a nearby cornfield. As he would have gone back up, him seeing that his suit was kind of burned. As we could see that, Clark saves the day, as everybody thanks this hooded man, as he zooms off, as Homelander tries to follow him, but sees that he's a little bit too fast for him. As Homelander tries to protect his image, as he goes back, as Homelander says that was a new suit, unregistered one, as he would have pretty much looked around, as he would have been very much shocked at what happened. Now, the events of this wouldn't lead up to Homelander's change, because they wouldn't see Homelander's true colors, because this would have happened exactly at the same time, where Homelander would have messed up the deck, or pretty much the control system, meaning that no one would have died in this situation, as a lot of people would be saved, as this would move the U.S. military, act to pit soups in the military a little bit faster in the events of the story, as this would actually bring a lot of other heroes out of the woodworks, heroes that were actually made from Clark's appearance on the world, from kryptonite, and also other sorts of, supernatural and also alien-like substances flowing around the world, as we would have switched to basically, the whole military, the whole press thing, and everybody going crazy about this hooded man on the news. As we get switched to a nearby facility, or not a facility, but more of a crime scene, as he would have looked around, seeing things that, like a soup killing the bit of pretty much Pearl, as we would see that Butcher and Huey and Frenchie would have seen a killing, a soup murdering somebody, or taking down somebody. Now, we would see that A-Train would have been there as well, as we see that this was caused by, Yuriko. I didn't mention Yuriko. Yuriko, earlier in the episode, she did escape, and they're looking after her now. Now, Clark left, and this is when Yuriko escaped. As we can switch back to the date with pretty much, Starlight and Huey, as it goes exactly the same. Now, I did say Huey before, but it's only Butcher, Queen, Mom's Milk, and, Frenchie. Sorry, narration messing up. But we get switched right back to actually Clark's story, as Clark would have been back at the Fortress of Solitude, as he would have taken off his hoodie, as he would have seen that it was pretty much ripped up a lot, as he would have looked around, as he would have been very much confused and distraught, as he would have looked up, as he would have been, told by somebody, or would have been told by his a hologram of his father, as he had to step up and become a hero, as Clark was on the edge of being a hero. Heroes in his world are nothing but sick, psychotic druggies that only think about themselves and they kill millions of hundreds of people, and Vought covers it up. It is sick, twisted, and overly disgusting turn of events. As to put it simple, he did not want to be a part of this system. As all this is going on with the original story of, everything going on exactly the same, nothing really changing too much about the story other than the playing scene. As we get switched to pretty much Huey, this is Huey basically talking to her and all this other stuff, but things would have gone very down. As we would have seen that Butcher would have been yelling and screaming, as they would have called Clark, as they would have found Huey at the pretty much area. As we would have seen that this would have gone very south very fast, as Clark would have shown up there in a blue hoodie with red shoes and blue jeans, as he would have had a similar street outfit to his Superman suit, as he would have been told by Mother's Milk that Yuriko escaped and she's down here in the subway somewhere. As Clark would use his laser vision to look around, as he would have seen that Yuriko would have been intercepted by A-Train as their fight would have pursued. As A-Train and Yuriko would have started to fight, as right before the fight ended, as Yuriko would have, got a quick one on A-Train, as we would see that A-Train would have fought her again and again, as eventually she would have gotten away, as Clark would have stepped in, punching A-Train dead in the chest, holding back a little bit, pushing A-Train into a nearby wall. As A-Train would have gone back up, him looking for them, as he would have been stopped by the press, taking some pictures for his public image. As we see that Yuriko would have been running away, as Clark and the other three would have been running after her. As Clark would have stopped Yuriko, telling her to stop, as she would have punched him dead in his face, as Yuriko's fist would have smushed against his skin, as Clark would have been surprised as, invulnerability was actually still on. Normally throughout the day it goes off and on, but now it's becoming stronger. As Frenchie tries to calm down Yuriko, walking towards her as he tells Clark to walk away. As Clark backs up slowly, as Yuriko's hand starts to regenerate or heal, as she becomes, more acquainted with Frenchie, starting to trust him, but still having a little bit of a, starting to trust him-ish, but her running towards Frenchie at the last minute, punching him dead in the chest. Not punching him dead in the chest, but pretty much slapping him in the chest, pushing him down on the ground and about to kill him. As they stop her midway in the fight, now I'm going to leave it off here, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys like and subscribe. And as always, guys, have a blessed day. Part 3. No, not part 3, but part 4 will have a lot more to push Clark more on the side of supers. And also, to be frank, basically, some suits from the DC universe will be thrown into this universe. AKA, since Atlanteans exist in this world, stories might change a lot. But I'm going to leave it up here, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. And as always, guys, have a blessed day. I said it twice, but still, guys, have a blessed day. For real, though.